Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday. It is the 6th day of September 2022. I hope those of you that had the long Labor Day weekend enjoyed your weekend and got refreshed for the work week that we now begin on Tuesday. Being that was a long week for some of us, including myself. This is a short work week, so that's the good thing about having a long weekend. You get a short work week right after that. So it's a 4-day work week. We're starting on Tuesday. I hope that you are safe, that you are healthy, and that you had a really pleasant and enjoyable, refreshing weekend. I hope that your family also was the same, and that in terms of food, shelter, clothing, and health, the needs of you and your family are being provided for today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, trying to save lives along with the first responders, the very important lifesavers, the first responders every day, including long weekends. They don't get weekends off. They got to be at work all the time, and shifts because emergencies happen all the time. People get sick, people get hurt, people get in accidents. All type of things happen all the time. And these people out here trying to save lives every day, blessings upon them. And those that pick up garbage, that keep streets and sidewalks and parks and highways clean. And those also that make deliveries, even on long weekends, for us to have food in the supermarket and the delis and places and other things that we take for granted for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children who in every state in the United States and in every county in every state are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. And double curses on the perpetrators, the perverts, and those profiteers out here trafficking in human misery of children, teenagers, and adults that have been taken. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children homeless in the United States of America. And there are millions on the streets around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you today. Now, let's talk about next moves. Let's talk about next moves for the Knicks. Okay, this whole Mitchell saga is over. Thank the Most High. Let's move forward. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out to my man Mark Berman. You know, Mark Berman, I learned to respect him. I didn't like him, his articles over the years because I've been reading his articles when I was in New York every day. Just like y'all get caught up in the catnip and get angry. And he would catch me like that because he was always negative on the Knicks. As I mentioned, the long history of media negativity in New York and out of New York because of the Knicks. But this past weekend and for this past week, like since the Donovan Mitchell trade was announced, this cat must have stopped taking his antidepressants because boy was as dark and as negative as I ain't seen him in a long time. I think what it was, honestly, is that he's one of these dudes that like the headlines and he's always was talking about a blockbuster. And I personally think some of y'all also actually brought this to my mind, but I personally think also that he's a mouthpiece for Tom Thibodeau. They admitted they've been friends a long time, right? And so I think he's a mouthpiece for Tom Thibodeau. He was looking for blockbuster and get veterans, trade youth, trade picks, blah, blah, blah. If you listen to that, it sounds a lot like Tibbs, right? So I think he might be a mouthpiece for Tibbs, but homie the Knicks was disappointed and man, they just blew it and man, they were going to do this and they were going to do that and RJ Barrett was a consolation prize. Whoa. I think he should take Mitch Rob's advice. You know what Mitch Rob told him? Berman, relax. We like Mark, but man, he got to calm down on this. And, like I said, I think he just didn't take his antidepressants this past week because homie was dark. It ain't that bad, Knicks Nation. It's not. Okay, it's not at all. The Knicks were smart. Okay, whatever you want to say or you want to read about or you want to believe in the tabloids about what happened behind the scenes, at the end of the day, we did not give away our future for Donovan Mitchell. And nor should we have. Okay, nor should we have. Quentin Grimes fits better next to Jalen Brunson, period, end of story. Okay, the Knicks weren't winning no championship this year. Okay, now, brings me to the future. You're going to see on the thumbnail Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LaMelo Ball, and OG Anunoby. I'm getting ready to tell you in a minute why we should be watching out for LaMelo Ball. Not this year, because some of y'all can't think past this coming week. But I'm talking about 2 seasons from now. Okay? 2 seasons from now. And we'll talk about why in a minute. But first, let's talk about why there's a high probability and likelihood that Tom Thibodeau is going to get fired. High probability and likelihood. Now, the way I see it, the Don has been trying to work with Tibbs. They friends. Tibbs was his client. So he's trying to hook Tibbs up, as you would with your boy. I mean, if it was your boy and he was in the same industry that you was in, and y'all been friends a long time, and you're in a big job now, you're going to try to hook up your boy. I mean, that's what Leon was doing. But to a point. Why? Because this is his job too. They both answer to the man that writes the checks for them, James Dolan and MSG. Okay? So he gonna hook his boy up as much as he can. So he gave his boy the job, right? He had plans. Obviously, Leon's plans, when you look at what Leon has done over the last 3 seasons, in terms of his, position as president of basketball operations, he has drafted Grimes. We know about Obi, his first pick, IQ, Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride, Jacob Bidas, Jericho Sims. He did not draft anybody this year, but instead he got Jalen Brunson, the point guard we've been waiting for forever, for 20 years. So we got a point guard. Since Marbury, we haven't had a point guard on this level, right? So he did all that. That's what he's been doing. So when you look at the roster, and he inherited R.J. Barrett and he inherited Mitchell Robinson, he re-signed both of those kids, both of them, 22 years old is R.J. and 24 years old is Mitch Rob. So he re-signed them. So he got a stable of young talent. Then he went and traded for more young talent in Cam Reddish. So Leon has obviously, you got to go by, look at what actually has happened. As you look at this roster, Leon Rose has built a young roster. That's what he's done. Now, somebody might say, and rightly so, well, why the heck did you hire Tom Thibodeau? He ain't with no rookies. Even his boy Berman said he ain't into drafts and rookies. You're right. But again, you got to remember, it's his boy. Come on, y'all understand that. It's his boy. So he's hoping his boy could work with him a little bit. So in order to appease his boy, last year he brought in some veterans. He brought in Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, right? And who else? Who did he bring in? Well, he already had. He had Alec Burks, okay, on a short-term deal, right? And this is the thing that makes people, the longest-term deal of those dudes he brought in was Fournier, which was a 3-year deal. See, everybody talks about 4 years and 72 million. No, it was a 3-year deal with the team option in the third. And if you know anything about the Don, you know you ain't going to see the light of day on that 3rd year. On that 4th season, the 4th season. Okay, you ain't going to see it. So it's a 3-year deal. And right now, it's a 2-year deal. Then Kemba was really a 2-year, 18 million, and he already moved him. Alec Burks was on a player option. You already moved him. And Noel. Okay? So he brought in a bunch of veterans for his boy, but they was all shorter term deals. Okay? And I'm predicting he's going to move Fournier before training camp. But that's another story. So, that being the case, his boy went ahead and ran them veterans to 37 wins and the 11th place in the East. Didn't work out too well. Now, the year before that, he had Bullock, he had Peyton, he had Randall, and Peyton his caddy, right? And then he had D Rose. He had some vets, and he ran them with Nerlens Noel, having a career year. And he went to the 4th. We know it's 4th in the East. But that was all, that was temporary. That wasn't built to last. Okay? That wasn't built to last. Nerlens is injury prone, as we've seen. Okay. Bullock, they did not want to guarantee 3 years of Bullock. And I understand the financial, because again, they weren't going to hook themselves in. So they gave him 2 years with a 3rd-year team option, which Bullock knows no. And Bullock went to Dallas and got 3 guaranteed years. So there was that season was pieced together, knit together. Okay. It wasn't going to be permanent. Now, and then of course, Randall in a contract year, he had a career year, and that what makes it what makes it a career year. Y'all need to understand. It's away from the mean. It's not his normal year. Last year was his normal year. Okay. High turnovers, 2010 and losses. Some of y'all get caught up in the 2010. I mean, listen, I got a math degree, and I ain't caught up in them numbers like they mean anything. Because what the numbers that mean something is wins and losses. He don't make nobody around him better, and we still was losing. Hey, listen. You think if we had LeBron James in place of Julius Randle, if they switch places, do you think we'd have won a few more games? Do you think if we had Kawhi Leonard, a healthy Kawhi Leonard in place of Julius Randle, would we win a few more games? Do you think if we had CP3 in front instead 30-something 100-year-old CP3 instead of Julius Randle, we'd have won a few more games? I think so. You know why? Because all the players I just named make everybody around them better. That's true number one options right there. They make everybody around them better. So what's the use in putting up big numbers? Just put up big numbers. Julius Randle has physical talent and ability, but he has 0 basketball IQ and 0 effect on helping his teammates become better basketball players, which is what you expect from a true number one option, which again brings us to the point he's not a number one option. Now, back to Leon and his boy. So now, it didn't work out last year. So here we are. Burks is no longer on the team. Nerlens Noel is no longer on the team. Kemba Walker is no longer on the team. Okay? What do you have? You have Obi Toppin, that's a young lion, hungry for minutes, that you drafted in the lottery. Leon. What do you have? You have RJ Barrett, who's a young lion looking to take that next step, just signed a $120 million deal. Mitchell Robinson, another young lion. What you got? You got Quentin Grimes, a young lion looking for minutes. Emmanuel Quickly, a young lion getting better. And of course, lesser known people like my boy Deuce and Jericho. So you got a bunch of hungry young lions. And it's not this year, and it's not necessarily next year. You never know who's going to shake loose next year and want to come to New York or want out of their team. But that notwithstanding, in 2 years, you're going to really see these 3 guys, SGA, LaMelo, and OG, become available. Okay? And I'm telling y'all right now, watch LaMelo. And I'll tell you why. Now, this is pure speculation on my part. First off, let me just put that out there. This is this disclaimer. They got no information. I ain't talked to LaMelo Ball or SGA or OG or Masai Ujiri or Michael Jordan, or Sam Presti. I'm just going by looking at the landscape, looking at the contractual situation on each team and the player situation on each team and drawing conclusions from it. And I'm going to explain those now. So, this coming season, it is very important that the Knicks find out what these young lions have. And Rose, I feel, is going to further help his boy by moving a couple more of his toys that he would tend to overuse in favor of not using these young lions, namely one in Evan Fournier and the other either Randall or Rose. Obi's got to play. I don't care what y'all think about Julius Randle. They did not draft him. Leon Rose especially did not draft him. He drafted Obi Toppin. And Obi's going to be 25 next March. Next March. You got to find out what you got right now. right now. That being the case, you got to do something with Randall. So it could be either Randall or Rose, but you got to find out. Either way, you got to play Obi. You got to play at least 25 minutes a game. Really, you want him to play 30? You're going to run this boy, see what he got. That's number one. You got to also see what you got with Grimes. You got to see what you got. All the young players. You got to see what you got. You need 2 seasons, not 1, but 2. And it's perfect. Because a lot of y'all crying for SGA. And this is the thing. Overall, Knicks Nation. Y'all still, some of y'all don't get it. And you know why? Because y'all still in the NBA 2K crackhead mentality. What do I mean by that? Please look at the most important talent an NBA player possesses one time, please, some of y'all. What's the most important ability? Availability. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and OG are not available. Not available. Period. You want to look at it? Look. OG, y'all got to look at people that play, man. Stop looking at, they 6'7", they got a tremendous wingspan, and man, they could really play for us. No, they can't, because they're being street clothes. They're being street clothes, okay? They won't play. And y'all will be whining, why do we waste $100 million on this guy? Because, he never plays. Right. Let's look at OG Anunoby. The last 4 seasons for this young man. The man is 25 years old. Yes, he's got talent. Nobody's denying that. But look, 48 games, 43 games, 69 games, 67 games. That's his last 4 years. His rookie year, 74 games. That was his high point. Dude always hurt. When they won the chip, he was hurt. He didn't even play. And you want to deal with Masai Ujiri talking about somebody getting ready to rip you off? OG, nah. Now, in 2 years, OG is going to be, in 2024-25, as a player option. He's probably going to opt out. Because you know what happens, right? Some of y'all going to get caught up in the catnip. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in his contract year, he's going to be healthy suddenly. In his contract year, he's going to go off. Beware players that go off in their contract year, Nerlens Noel, Julius Randle. Because they know what the money is about. Okay? Especially guys that are, past that youth stage. Like Cam is in his contract year. He's 23. Now you might be the same thing with him. I don't know. But OG, no, we done already seen this movie, baby. No. He's not available. He's never available. What are you talking about? Wait. This past season? 48 games? Are you gonna be happy with that? 43 and then 69? Are you gonna be happy with that? And when they won the chip, he wasn't playing. Stop it, okay? With the OG. All right, next. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And again, I know some of y'all are casual fans and you don't watch this stuff real close. And okay, so let me educate you. Okay, let me educate you. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 24 years old. He just turned 24. This upcoming season will be the first year of a 5-year, $180 million contract. Okay, he's 24. The first year of a 5-year, $180 million contract. Sam Presti signed him to that contract. And Sam Presti ain't stupid. Some of y'all must think some of these owners are. Why? Because we had stupid Knicks management. So not all teams are like that. But Sam Presti is not. He's very sharp. And so he is not giving up his centerpiece. That's what he got here, a centerpiece. He done drafted light and behind Chet Holmgren, and you see what happened with that. I was trying to get a boy 50 games. I said, he might not make 50 games. Well, he didn't. He didn't even make game 1. Okay? He didn't even make game 1. So you got Oklahoma City, and they got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They got Chet Holmgren, who's not playing. And then they got Josh Giddey, who can't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, this kid, Josh Giddey, he's 6'8", 210. Yeah, he got wingspan. Yeah, he got, high IQ. But okay, fine. He played 54 games his rookie year on a team that stunk. Okay? 54 games. And what? He shoots 26% from three. Did you hear me? I didn't say 36. I didn't even say 30. 26% from three. Okay, maybe he's good, closing at, 42% from the field. You're talking about RJ. That's their boy outside of SGA. That's their boys right there. So some of y'all, you think Sam Presti wants to give up at age 24, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Would you do that? Or would you try to build around this 24-year-old star that you have? Right? So if anything, he might be wanting to trade some of these kids he got because they ain't working. But he got to find out. So you got to figure at least 2-3 seasons. But this is $180 million. And even Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, let's look at his track record, shall we? Let's look at his track record. How many games he played a year? Well, Shai Gilgeous, his rookie year, he played 82 games. That's tremendous. Started 73. His second year, he started 70 games. He played 70 games. But third year, he only played 35 games. And last year, he played 56 games. Maybe because he's in OKC, I don't know. But he's played a total of 91 games in the last 2 seasons. And he's getting paid $180 million. 7-foot wingspan, 6'8". You could look at all those numbers. But he's not available. Now, let's look at LaMelo Ball. I don't have to explain that he's a star, going to be a superstar. I don't have to explain that he's 20 years old. He'll be 21 this coming season. He's 21. And after this year, in 2023-24, it's a club option for about $11 million. And that's when he's ready to get his extension. After this season, if he does not sign the extension, he's going on the open market. Now, I don't think I have to work hard to explain to y'all. His father, LeVar, really wanted him in New York. Really wanted him in New York. Okay, if it wasn't the Lakers, it was the Knicks. They want the spotlight. They want the box. That's what they're looking for. They want the box office, the spotlight. And to be quite honest with you, LaMelo Ball is a big fish in a small pond in Charlotte. Now, what is this? Now, is LaMelo Ball not a team dude? No, he's a total team dude. But he needs them to act like they're trying to win. And so far, they haven't. This whole Miles Bridges thing messed them up beyond what I can even describe. Miles Bridges was supposed to be a cornerstone. And Gordon Hayward, who some of y'all was talking about trading for, which I don't know, again, he never plays. What is wrong with some of y'all? He's not available. And you got $60 million left on his contract. That's the problem. He's been hurt. Not available. See, when they signed him, $120 million over 4 years, I was like, man, that's too much money for him coming off a tremendously bad injury that he had. But, at first it was all money though. But then he started getting hurt. And he's been doing that every year now. And he's still got 2 more years of that misery, and he's going to get paid handsomely, $30 million a year. So it hasn't worked out. Then the whole thing with Miles Bridges beating up his woman or being accused of beating up his woman. So there's that. They signed Scary Terry, but he's not enough. Scary Terry is good, but he's not that dude to carry you. They need another dude. They was hoping maybe it might have been Miles Bridges. Maybe it might have been Gordon Hayward, but it's not worked out. So you got 2 years where you got LaMelo Ball. Okay. They're going to have to make moves because they got to convince LaMelo Ball that they're really trying to win. And that they know what they're doing. Okay. Now, let me rephrase that. Every team in the NBA is trying to win unless they tanking, but you're not tanking with LaMelo Ball, right? So they're trying to win, but the second part, that they know what they're doing. They got to convince him they know what they're doing. With this team, with what they got going on right now, I don't know what they're going to do. But in 2 seasons, he could leave. Not this season, not the summer of 2023, the summer of 2024. And I know we got Jalen Brunson. But if you're talking about LaMelo Ball, we don't need to talk, except let's get this young man here. So we're not talking about this season or next summer. It's the 2 summers from now. That's far gone for some of y'all. But that's what I'm talking about. In 2 summers, if he's not hurt, and he has been pretty, for a young kid, he come in the league. And I was concerned with him also because, he's 180 pounds. He's about 6'8", 6'7". But he has played, the first year he played 51 games. I think that was the COVID year. And last year he played 75 games. You can't expect much more from a kid that was 19 and 20, man. So let's see what happens this year. But if he stays relatively healthy and they don't really improve over the next 2 seasons, plus you add to that the Knicks young Lions getting time so that we know what they have over the next 2 seasons, that combination of things. See, all things being equal, and this is my opinion, for LaMelo Ball and LeVar Ball, all things being equal. Like, in other words, if you're going to struggle as a franchise, I think they'd rather struggle in Madison Square Garden than in Charlotte. That's just my guess. And another thing is, I bet you LaMelo Ball, I don't even know, but I bet you LaMelo Ball makes more money in endorsements and in reality TV than he makes playing basketball. So he's going to make his money regardless. They're going to get paid. So now you're talking about a real possibility. So I think that's something we should see. This is the thing. Well, some people, like our man Berman, he's looking for a blockbuster every single day. Him and Thibodeau, right? But I think Leon is thinking more like what I'm telling you. Not today, 2 years from now. And to this time, over the next stretch, we want to find out what our kids have. We got a whole bunch of draft picks. That is going to take that. Talk about, it's going to take a whole bunch of effort to get a LaMelo Ball. So we got him. We're not getting him. We got him. Okay, we got him. And in 2 years, when you're talking about not 2023, but 2024, we got him. We got all kind of picks, protected picks, and we'll still have picks. Okay, so I say, let's play what we got. And I think Leon Rose is going to agree with me, which is why I said Tom Thibodeau, and this is the thing, if I'm correct, and if some of y'all are correct, and if Berman is really part of Thibodeau's mouthpiece, then that's a big if. I mean, it could be, maybe it couldn't be. But if it was, what's Thibodeau? He's disappointed. He's hurt that they didn't get Donovan Mitchell, and he wanted to trade all of the draft picks to get this guy regardless, and it didn't happen, which tells me, and then Berman's claiming Tibbs is the one to win now. That means he's not trying to develop. Now, unless his boy helps him out and takes away his veteran toys and keeps the kids so that he can win now and try to win now with the kids, I think he's going to be fired because he's going to do something stupid. He's not going to change his ways. He's not going to give these kids any time. He's going to continue to focus on whatever guy's over 30 and play them a gazillion minutes or close to it like Randall and play them a gazillion minutes because Randall will be 28 in November. And that'll be that. We'll struggle again. Okay? So if the Knicks struggle because of that, he's going to be fired by the All-Star break. And I know y'all got your favorites, but I'm telling you right now, realistically, you got to look at Johnny Bryant. They did not bring Johnny Bryant to New York from Utah for him to just, be the associate head coach and not get any input, which is what is going on right now. No, he's the heir apparent. You're going to get Johnny Bryant as your interim coach, and he's going to have half a season or maybe a little more than that to prove that he should be the permanent head coach, which I believe the young man will be successful at that. So, this is interesting. Again, this is a big year for the Knicks. I have no faith that Thibodeau is going to do the right thing. I have faith in Thibodeau in as much as if Leon Rose moves 2 of the 3, like I said, Randall, Rose, and Fournier. And I think Fournier is a definite go somewhere. But between Randall and Rose, if he don't move one of those 2 along with Fournier to help Thibodeau, and that's what I'm saying, to help Thibodeau play Obi Toppin 35 minutes, to play Grimes, to start Grimes, to play these guys heavy minutes and see what they could really do. If he doesn't do that, and he keeps these veterans here, Tibbs is going to mess himself up. He's going to mess the Knicks up. and they're going to fail. Okay? But if Rose helps his man out and gets rid of some of these vets, then Tibbs will play these 24-year-olds. Mostly that's what they are. Play these 24 and 22-year-olds and get the most out of them. You'll see Thibodeau's best coaching job. If he does that for Tibbs by moving some of these vets out of his way and let them focus on the kids. See, some of y'all just focus on names and stats. You got to focus also on the thing called development. And you can't get it if you're not playing. So these kids that we drafted, that Leon Rose built, we need to play them. I don't care if we keep Cam or don't keep Cam. We keep them, better play them. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to keep Cam Reddish, you better play Cam Reddish. Okay? And you got to take away Evan Fournier for that to happen. Otherwise, you're not going to get him. And especially in the wing department. We want to see what we have in RJ, Grimes, Reddish. We want to see what we have in our wing department. What those guys got. This is a good opportunity. Because now you got Jalen Brunson. He's a real point guard. First time RJ's playing with a real point guard in 4 years. First time. Okay? And the first time, if you can remove Julius Randle, the ball will be moving. Okay? The ball will be moving consistently every night. Okay? And if you do that, you'll see what you have in RJ Barrett, which I think is a future all-star. If you get that and you develop it now in 2 seasons, it'll be no question. Somebody like a LaMelo Ball will be talking about New York. They'll be saying, I want to go to New York. And that's when you'll really go to the championship level right there. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Between SGA, OG, and LaMelo, and then some of y'all talking about Jaylen Brown. Listen, Jaylen Brown's a really, really good player. I don't think Boston's going to give him up. The only reason that was talked about was because we're talking about Kevin Durant, and that's probably one of the few players in the league that you would talk to about Jaylen Brown. Okay. But other than that, realistically, they're not trading Jaylen Brown. And if he wanted to trade, again, I want to know what we have in the wings we have now before we talk about Jaylen Brown. I want to talk about what RJ got as a wing. Maybe as a 2 or 3. If Cam is here, you can play Cam at the 3, RJ at the 2. See what we got. Grimes, if you don't do that, starting Grimes at the 2. Let's see what we got with the wings we got. And then talk about what happens in 2 seasons with Jaylen Brown. Okay, but you got to see what you got first. And so right now, I think I don't have confidence unless Leon Rose steps in and removes some of these, 2 of the 3 veterans. There's not a lot of them. We're talking about 2 out of 3. You're talking about 2 out of 3. 2 guys over 30 and 1 guy 28 that's stuck in his ways also, which is Julius Randle. Stuck in his ways. He is what he is. He does what he does. He's a 2010 dude on a losing team. He's an actual 3rd option on a winning team. He's actual 3rd option on a winning team. Okay. And if he plays that role here, we'll do pretty good. But if not, we're going to have a struggle. He's going to have attitude. He's going to be hitting people's laptops. He's going to be swerving off people. He's going to be acting like that, arguing with the refs. He's going to be doing that. We need to get rid of him. I know some of y'all in Randall Hive don't like it, but I'm telling you, I'm tired of the attitude. I'm tired of the prima donna. I think he needs to go. Period. End of story. Now, they may not think that way. Some of y'all don't like it. Some of that keeps somebody, I can't believe you want to get rid of a 2010 guy. Yeah, I do. A 10 guy with a horrible attitude that's selfish and doesn't make his teammates better. Get rid of it. Please. Because I want to play Obi Toppin, 6'9", beam pole, jumping jack, can shoot the ball when given the chance, hustles, bring the energy every night on both ends of the floor with no attitude. Please give me Obi Toppin. Okay? Please give me him. You know his name was in trade rumors all summer, and you would never know it looking at Obi? That's class right there. Please give me more Obi. Give me more Obi. New York all day, baby. New York, New York. Give me Obi. Okay? Send the Dallas kid back to Dallas or wherever you want to go. Okay? That's what we're talking about. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Y'all know how I feel. But watch LaMelo Ball in 2 seasons. I think that's a real possibility. If he doesn't get hurt, okay, and I'm hoping he doesn't. If he plays well, because him by himself, man, just him by himself, I mean, he's a dude that obviously he makes everybody around him better. See, that's what I'm talking about. If you look at their roster, they really don't have a whole lot, but he makes they won 43 games last year. They were 43-39. Okay. And that's basically LaMelo, Miles Bridges, and Scary Terry. That's basically what you had. And he makes everybody around him better. Okay. That's what you're talking about. Okay, that's what you're talking about. So yeah, he's a superstar in the making. It's going to be expensive to get him. He's going to want to come here if they continue on this trajectory. If Charlotte doesn't change their fortunes real quick, and I don't see how they're going to do it, because what did they draft this year? What did they draft? They drafted Boat Knight, and I'm not saying Boat Knight is a definite scrub, but he ain't no game changer. And some of y'all was whining about the Knicks picking Kai Jones and sending him to Charlotte. What y'all thinking now? Come on, baby. And so, I don't know. I don't see nothing here. I don't see nothing here. Okay? So they better hope they can get Wembanyama or something. They better hope, because right now, LaMelo Ball's the type of dude that by himself he'll win you 36 games. You put LaMelo Ball with this scrubby team, he'll win you 36 games. They won 43 last year. Okay? So that'll keep you out of the top 10 in the picks. 2 years from now, watch New York and LaMelo Ball. That's all I'm saying. I like Jalen Brunson, and I think he's going to be dynamic for us. And I'd like to keep him. But I want to give that ball to LaMelo if he's coming to New York, and let Jalen play like he did next to Luka. Because LaMelo is the deal. Okay? Period. End of story. Deal. Okay? He's the deal. He done proved it already. He ain't got to prove nothing else. He's a young stud superstar in the making. Okay? So, 2 years from now, watch LaMelo Ball. In the meantime, y'all please have a good Tuesday. Sure.